Hello, I'm Kaylin Woodward, and I'm going to be talking about my app TaxBack. So, my app TaxBack aims at providing low-income families, immigrants, and young adults new to the tax filing system with resources in the tax filing process and local help that is free to them and easily available. Okay, so starting off here, we have the welcome page of the app. So I wanted to make sure to use a friendly imagery throughout the app. So I have the mother and child here, going with the color green to just convey that sense of finance and trust. And then we include a little blurb at the bottom saying, "We are here to help you earn the benefits you deserve and learn more about the tax filing system." So there's two options: sign in and use as guest. So I'm going to run through the sign-in option. So on the iPhone, you would have three different options of either using Face ID, passcode, or creating a passcode. So we'll go to create a passcode. And the user would enter their name, create a username, password, re-enter the password to confirm, and then submit it. So directly after that, the user is going into the language page to choose which language they would prefer. The reason I found it important to include multiple different languages is because of the target audience, including people that are immigrants into this country and maybe not having English as a first language. This way, not only are we explaining tax terms in layman's terms, but also directly in the language that they speak as a first language. So go through with English. So immediately after this, it lands us on our homepage. So we're asking the user how they might be assisted. And so there's a tax element search, benefits survey, and free local tax help. So the tax element search is also accessible down here through the little magnifying glass icon. And this paper and pencil is also a way to get to the benefits survey. Free local tax help, that's why we have the map down here. This would be the profile page and his homepage. So let's just go ahead and look at that profile page. So in clicking that, this will pop up showing the user the logo, the app's logo right here. And then they are able to enter their name and choose a profile picture if they would like. If not, it will just default with the icon. And you can either access the home page by clicking home to return, or the return button down here. Language will take you back to that language page just in case you would like to update your language preference at a later time. And you can also go in and change your password if you would like as well, update that. And lastly, you can also log out. So maybe you used a password, but now you'd like to use as a guest instead. Then it will return to the welcome page, and then you can go ahead and choose use as a guest from there. Okay. All right, so now let's start to dive into the features of the app. So here with the tax element search, this is basically where you would search up things like a W-2 form or a 1040T, and these are things that are not widely known, and it might be difficult to locate them and find information on them in layman's terms. So the user would hit the search, they would type in what they were looking for, and then click on the magnifying glass or the enter button to enter that search. And then it'll pop up the information. So basically here, it's saying explain what the W-2 form is, where the user can expect to obtain it from. Here it's saying, your employer will either give it to you in person, electronically, or you can receive it in the mail. So we also have a picture of it down here, which can be clicked on to enlarge it. That way the user can, see those assets a little bit better, and they can zoom in from there. Okay. Let's return back to the homepage. So that tax element search You can also, when you're looking for the search, it'll take you right back there. Similar thing. Okay, and then we have our benefit survey. So this is a tax benefit survey, and we have this little asterisk here just to give the user a disclaimer that the survey is just an estimate of the possible tax credits they may qualify for based off of their demographic information, but it is by no means a guarantee that they will receive those tax credits. So I included this drop-down menu so that users can pick a range of their income, making it easier than typing in an exact amount. Okay. And then household size, enter the household size, enter the number of children, and then they would hit submit. And then their feedback says, based off of your answers, looks like you might qualify for the child tax credit. And then in turn, if the user is saying like, oh, great, that's awesome, but how do I get this child tax credit? Then they could return back to the text element, search, type in child tax credit in the search bar, and find out information about that. So this little page with the pencil will also take you back to the survey. All right, let's go to the homepage. All right, so free and local tax help in the area. This is for users that would like some help that's outside of a chat box or over the phone, but would actually like to meet in person with a real human being and get free help that way. This is our best way of putting the users in touch with someone who can assist them. So they would enter their zip code, first and last name, phone number, and their email address. And then from there, they hit submit, and then just a little dialog box letting the user know that we have received their information and that the tax expert will be in contact with them. So I personally found that it would be better for the tax expert to contact the user instead of the user having to make the calls to set up the appointment. They've already submitted their information. Because a lot of times it can be a bit discouraging when there's extra steps surrounding asking for help. And, some people struggle with asking for help. They feel a sense of shame about it, or they don't want to bother people. So I felt that this was the best way to encourage the users to actually take advantage of the free help that's available to them. And once again, you can go to the homepage, and this map will bring you back to the search in the area code. So that pretty much completes the app's run through, but we can go ahead and log back out just to view every single one of the login options. So if we wanted to use our phone's Face ID instead, then bring up the Face ID, little circle would spin. Perfect, move into next. And then if we wanted to use the passcode, phone's passcode, you enter your little number and then press enter and continue through. So some things that I edited throughout going through my screens is changing the opacity of background colors and lowering the intensity of the images as well, so that the text would really come to the forefront, and also changing the color of these buttons to make the text easier to read. Change these buttons as well. And then instead of having a like a hamburger menu, having the menu bar at the bottom to make navigation easier and less confusing to the user. So thank you so much for taking the time to check out my app and listen to my presentation.